You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Suffolk County's red light cameras are being taken down now that the program has ended. Virginia Huey explains what this means for drivers.
The red light program has ended. Yeah! Goodbye!
Suffolk County officials kicked its controversial red light camera program to the curb. The move comes 14 years and more than $289 million in fines and related fees after its first camera was installed.
Very exciting day.
Michael Hamill of Holbrook says he's received at least 5 tickets over the years.
I think it's a money grabber. Yeah, I think it has nothing to do with safety.
Suffolk's program ended after state and county lawmakers failed to take steps to extend it beyond December 1st.
The program was flawed from the beginning. It wasn't about saving lives. It was about saving budgets.
Supporters of the program claim camera tickets were about safety and pointed to reductions in serious crashes and fatalities as evidence. However, according to Suffolk County data, overall accidents increased by 8.6%, largely because of a 47.7% spike in rear-end accidents after the cameras were installed. Many Long Islanders who've received tickets are wondering about the county fees that were tacked onto those tickets. After a recent court ruling said they were illegal, how does the county plan to pay them back?
We're probably going to have to pay back all that surcharge money.
Suffolk had charged a $30 administrative fee but stopped in 2022 after legislator Robert Trotter sponsored a bill to repeal it. But the county may still owe residents about $160 million.
It'll go through the courts. Hopefully it's negotiated and maybe they get back 50 cents on the dollar.
When asked if the program could be brought back in the future,
Never. It's done.
Suffolk lawmakers say tickets issued prior to December 1st must still be paid. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
About this story, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. And the family of an Israeli-American soldier from Long Island is speaking out after the Israeli military confirms he was killed in last year's attack. The parents and brother of Omer Nutra say in part, over the past 423 days, nearly 14 months, we have been working nonstop doing anything and everything possible to bring Omer home alive. Sadly, time has run out to bring Omer home alive, and words alone have no power to comfort. Now, relatives of Omer Nutra had been holding out hope that the Plainview native was still alive, but the Israeli military now says Nutra was killed in the October 7th Hamas attack last year. The 21-year-old was a platoon commander in the Israeli Defense Forces. The governor's office says flags at state facilities will be flown at half staff on the day of Nutra's funeral, which is still being decided. And the funeral services have been announced for a local hockey player who died during a charity game. Connor Kaysen collapsed from a, quote, sudden medical event over the weekend. Police say the Massapequa High School senior lost consciousness on the ice during intermission. Services for the 17-year-old will be held on Wednesday and Thursday at the Massapequa Funeral Home. The funeral mass is Friday morning at St. William the Abbot Church in Seaford. And a Queens man has been sentenced to 39 years to life in prison for the attempted murder of a police officer from Long Island.
If you assault a New York City police officer, if you shoot a New York City police officer, you're going to stay behind bars for a long time.
Devin Spraggins was convicted last month. The 24-year-old shot NYPD rookie cop Brett Bowler after a dispute on an MTA bus. The bullet hit the Hauppauge native's leg. During the sentencing, the judge called last year's shooting an attempted execution. And hundreds of Long Island educators are collecting both a salary and a pension, and taxpayers are footing the bill for the so-called double dipping. Sherry Einhorn has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
It's an abuse of the system.
Taxpayer advocate Andrea Vecchio is talking about a practice called double dipping. That's when a public employee retires and collects a pension and then goes back to work for a school or another taxpayer-funded agency and collects a paycheck at the same time. While some may object to it right now, it's not illegal.
It's intended to be a pension for your golden years that you can go off into the sunset and let somebody else have a chance.
Newsday analyzed payroll data for all 124 school districts on the island and compared that to the state pension database. What we found were hundreds of retired educators still working for school districts.
We hear about it in government a lot. We don't really hear about it in school districts as much. So I wanted to just get an understanding of how often it was occurring.
I don't blame the school districts, and I don't blame the people who are trying to exploit the system, but they are exploiting the system. The system was not set up with this in mind.
Here's an example in the Mount Sinai School District. 3 administrators, Linda Jensen, Matt Dyroff, and Scott Ray, were allowed to technically retire in 2022 and start collecting a pension. But in reality, they never left their jobs. Instead, they cut a 1-year deal to keep working. Those administrators earned between $198,000 and $240,000 in the last school year in salary. At the same time, they collected pensions worth between $137,000 and $189,000 a year.
It's only in the public sector that that's an issue.
Dr. Christine Crescioni is the superintendent of Mount Sinai Schools.
Having that institutional knowledge, people who've worked for the district for many, many years, some of them 30 to 40 years, people who are dedicated to the district, doing multiple jobs, that would have been very difficult for us to replace at that time.
None of the Mount Sinai district employees mentioned returned messages seeking comment. Before the pandemic, districts were sometimes required to get a waiver in order to rehire a retired employee. State lawmakers will decide next year if they're going to re-implement that policy, which could make it tougher to double dip. For Newsday TV, I'm Shari Einhorn.
Now, to read more about this story, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Nearly 100 vehicles will be up for auction this weekend with bids starting at $500. Suffolk police say among the vehicles are a BMW, a Lexus, and a Jaguar. There will also be motorcycles and an electric bike. It's this Saturday in West Hampton. And a 100-year-old World War II veteran visited a Smithtown school today. Jack Weber spoke to students at Great Hollow Middle School. He talked about his experiences fighting in the war and why it's important to honor veterans. He also gave some advice to those students.
Try to enjoy the spirit of outdoors. It's, to me, the sunshine is a miracle, and I enjoy every minute of it.
The veteran also wrote his own memoir called Jack Weber Here. There's a magical place to see model trains here on Long Island. Jamie Stewart has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Located on North Country Road in St. James sits an elegant old home called the Mills Pond House. But make your way down to the basement and that's where the kids go to play.
I love trains. I got my first train set in 1957. I still have it.
For the past 41 years, the St. James Model Railroad Club has gotten together once a week to take a railroading trip down memory lane.
I had a set when I was young and kept it in decent shape to when I got into the hobby, it was ready to go again.
How long have you been part of this club?
17 years.
Oh, so you're like a newbie.
Yeah.
Have to put each piece of shrubbery and tree in there, and each figure has to get glued in there.
The Mills Pond House has been around since the 1800s, and like another old classic, The Wizard of Oz, there's a lot of charm. There's also a man behind the curtain, a man behind the controls. Follow me, I'll show you. You go down here through the basement, and there's Pat.
Here are our 2 control boards. Each one represents one of our 2 main lines. There are areas we can't see. So we have, strategically, we put cameras around the layout, and as we're running, we can look up here and find trains.
But sometimes even the trains can get away from Pat and his crew.
Crashes and derailments, public seems to enjoy that for some reason.
One of the trains is running and it derailed. So Tom is going over and trying to get it back on the rails again so I can get it going again.
And when it's up and running, everyone wins.
That's the Long Island Railroad. You've been on that.
Looking at the little kids when they light up, when the trains are going by. That's really a lot of fun.
A basement filled with fun for all ages.
Has it exceeded your expectations?
Without a doubt, yeah. It's something I look forward to every Wednesday night, to come down and enjoy their knowledge and enjoy the trains.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
And it looks like a lot of fun. Now, to see more exclusive stories like this one, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. All right, there are two popular holiday lighting events happening Wednesday night. If you're going out east, the 20-foot-tall Big Duck in Flanders will be lit at 7 p.m. And if you're in the city, you can catch the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. This year's tree is a 74-foot-tall Norway spruce from Massachusetts. All right, now let's take a look at your Long Island weather, which includes Wednesday, to see if it's worth going out there. So today was cold, obviously. It felt like winter, certainly did. Tonight you can see we're in the high 20s and we could get some snow showers early. And take a look at tomorrow though. The temps for the most part is going to reach just 40, so it's another chilly day, but we have mostly sunny skies. As for the 7-day forecast, including Wednesday, it looks like we're dry. We have some wind on Thursday and rain Monday.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.